Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome! Welcome to College Hoops 2K8 on stream with me, Therios. Wow, I am grinning ear to ear right now. I can barely control my excitement. That's one of the coolest things I've ever done on my channel. I spent the last 3 days trying to figure out this stream, the audio, the visuals, everything, trying to make sure it is as ready for this as possible because I freaking love college basketball. And when I realized I could stream this game, this is the first game I ever played in my life. And I was absolutely into it because I loved UConn. I loved college basketball. I'm from Connecticut. But man, oh man, when I figured out I could pull this off, I had to go all in. Hope you enjoyed that intro. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? I hope you have a snack. I hope you are ready for some choops, some college hoops. 2K8, I've got a lot planned today, and I've actually got quite a few things that I haven't done in the past on stream. I had a countdown, I had an intro video. I could watch that 100 times today and never stop smiling. That is what this is all about. If you don't know already, if you're here for soccer, for FIFA, like I have done in the past, that's not going away. This is just an addition that needed to happen. I love college football. You've seen my UTEP series, maybe. If not, check it out. But I love college basketball. UConn is the college basketball capital of the world, or Connecticut is. That's where I was born and raised. It's in my blood. Absolutely. So, when I started to do this, I just had to say we're going to start off with a UConn game, and I'm going to play that in a second so you can see the gameplay. Just so you know, this game came out in 2007, 19 years ago. It's crazy. I still can't believe it. I mean, looking through the roster, you can see a little bit of the graphics. Not the best. It's okay, though. You think about 19 years ago, this is really impressive, and the gameplay is physics-based. Gotta catch my breath a little bit. Let's see how we're doing in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, where are you joining me from? How excited are you with how this has started? It's just me rambling on, but my god is it exciting. For me, at least. There is so much to do in this game, and I'm just gonna get straight into the first gameplay of my streams. Now, I'm gonna do a classic rivalry, a classic Big East rivalry. This is the way things used to be and should be, but it's going to be a little bit less commentary for me, a little bit more into the gameplay itself so you can see why I love this game. The visuals, the presentation, the excitement, the band, the commentary. Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery are some of the best to ever do it in college basketball. I've got March Madness on the side. Goodness, I mean, this is why I got into gaming in the first place. I loved this game. I love college basketball. Watch the intro. Tell me how you think this looks.
Syracuse Orange go up against the Connecticut Huskies. This should be a play of the game. Welcome, everyone. We're here at the Harry A. Campbell Pavilion. I'm Vern Lundquist here with Bill Raftery and Tracy Wilson. What do you think, Bill? The story here is the matchup at left guard. Schaefer is definitely one of the best shooting guards in the nation. He's a magician with the basketball. He can really get creative with the ball in his hands. Wolf is also in the discussion of the nation's best two guards. He's got tremendous hops, and I'm sure it won't be long before we see him send it in with reckless abandon. Both looking to lead their teams to a win. We'll see who succeeds.
I mean, where is this analysis? Where is this presentation in any game nowadays? Not in FIFA. You don't get this kind of inside analysis. Not in 2K. Not in Madden. None of it. You don't get the hype intro. You don't get the cinematic cuts. Hasheem Thabeet does not win the tip, and the Syracuse Orange have it. God, I mean, I like playing in presentation with the camera on the side like this just because it looks like you're watching the game on TV. So, I mean, if you don't like that, let me know, but most of the time you're going to see me controlling big 7'3" Hasheem Thabeet, one of the best shot blockers in the history of the Big East, in the history of UConn, and we missed the first shot we take. But, man, this game for 2007 was something else, and if you ever watch the difference in the videos between NCAA Basketball 10, which was EA's version of this, and 2K, you'll notice this was where 2K really started to take off and separate from EA in terms of basketball video games. I mean, this is sports video game history you're watching right here as Syracuse gets the foul. This game is historically popular for good reason. If you have any questions at all about college basketball, because I know a number of my subscribers just simply aren't familiar with what you're watching here today, well, ask me questions. Ask me questions about my FIFA series, about any of it. I'm all ears. I'm ready to answer questions. I'm ready to talk to you as I ball out here with the Huskies. Hopefully get a win against this famous 2-3 zone. Good ball movement. That's Jerome Dyson for 3. And the crowd's into it. We're pressing. Picked off. Jeff Adrian. Oh, he blew the layup. Come on. Love this game. It's frantic. It's not exactly realistic, but it is so much fun to play, and we're going to get so much deeper into this. The legacy mode that I'm going to play is going to be showing off what we're missing nowadays with sports video games. Thabit blocks it. They get it back. What a good game so far. But yeah, the legacy. Oh, gotta focus. Thabit. All right. Let me get to my point. The legacy mode in College Hoops 2K8 as we launch a 3. Oh, he tips it in. Is one of the most in-depth game modes I've ever played. From start to finish, you can do more in that game mode than you can in any current gen franchise, career mode, anything. Jerome Dyson to the rack, tries to tip it in. Scrappy game so far.
He emphasized just how important it is for them to crash the offensive boards and cash in on those second chance opportunities with their ability to rebound effectively.
I'm not going to play the whole game. I'm probably just going to play the first half. I just realized I didn't change it from 10-minute halves. We're going to do 12-minute halves in my legacy with, you know, we'll show you off the team later. So I won't give anything away now. As Jerome Dyson lines up another 3. Adrian with the board. And you know what? These aren't their names, but I know these players by heart. This is the UConn team that I grew up with. This is one of the first teams I ever watched a full season of with UConn and actually understood it. This was my childhood, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm reliving it for you in 2026. Good D.
That was a much quicker shot than they might have liked. It was a pretty open look, so it's tough to fault him. Blank hands it off.
Hey now. Scoop Jardine, deep cut. Jeff Adrian to the rack. Oh. Alright, the press in this game is it's a little chaotic, but man, you can get some steals and go on some runs with good pressure in this game. And you know what, like college sports are in real life, it's a little bit chaotic. Not everybody's good as he banks it in. How's that guy? Cody, do you know the guys on this Syracuse team? Oh shit. Oh, go to the rack! He jams it! Come on, baby. I believe that is Sticks. That's Stanley Robinson, rest in peace. UConn basketball star, who unfortunately passed away, but legend. High flyer, great player in his heyday, as the Huskies get another stop. Come on. 6-9. Huskies lead early. AJ Price, pump fake. Thabit. Pump fake. We're moving it. Jeff Adrian's going to launch a 3. That is not his game.
It doesn't matter how far you've got to go to get them, Vern. Every rebound is essential.
I don't remember Scoop Jardine's illustrious All-Star NBA career, but nonetheless, Syracuse have tied this game up. And the Huskies get it back off of a turnover. Chaos on the... We got... Like the Huskies in real life right now, we are not breaking the pressure well. Price. Hasheem Thabit to the rack. 7'3", baby. Timeout, Hughes. Is it Johnny Flynn at point guard? Johnny Flynn, the player drafted ahead of Steph Curry, famously. Wesley Johnson. Didn't Wesley Johnson also play for the Timberwolves?
Both teams are going to shake things up a little bit with some substitutions.
As I've mentioned, I'm going to play to the end of the first half as well. I want to continue this stream along. It's going to be a longer stream. I'm going to be here for a while, but I definitely want to... Oh, take it! Oh! I definitely want to move it along so I can show off all parts of this game. But we're starting off with gameplay so you can see. Now, when I hold down the left trigger, you see the player kind of locks onto the ball handler. They can get their ankles broken a little bit and shook, but it does kind of have defenders locking a little bit more on defense. Not helping us there, though, and Syracuse continuing with this pressure. But we break it pretty easily here. Oh, a terrible pass. Dyson was much more open. I gotta start calling them by their fake names that the game generated because there was no paying players for their likeness back then. Soto. Oh, that's right in his face. Come on, Huskies.
And it's still all tied up 11.
Spin move.
To the elbow. Dearman.
Oh my God, why would you not pass to AJ Price there? Oh, that's good D. Oh, come on. Like I said, this game's not always realistic, but hey, we're having fun. Come on, AJ Price, just go by him. Oh yeah.
Left in the half. Soto.
Oh, what the hell? How is that not a foul?
Uses the crossover.
Hello. Welcome.
Beats it to the baseline. His first shot of the game. The shot was
Hughes is killing me with this press.
They got on this roll a while ago and just haven't looked back. Dearman.
Oh, to the rack! Come on, we're back in this. I didn't call a timeout. Come on, crowd, get into it. How's everybody doing in the chat? Yeah, there's some deep cuts in this game. I don't know who some of the best players in this game are. I think Kevin Love is at UCLA. There's definitely some NBA players in here for sure. Lots that have almost retired at this point. There's guys in this game who have had their entire NBA career. And we're seeing them in college. Back when college basketball was a little bit more... I don't know how you say it. A little bit more personal feeling. Oh, Hasheem Thabeet to the rack. He cannot shoot free throws, so this is going to be interesting. All right, there you go, Hasheem. We got to get ourselves a steal or something. Oh! Take it! Take it! Yes! Come on! Yeah! You know, it's not perfect, but it goes in. Oh, and they throw it away! Gamble is alive! ACSF commish. I wonder who that is. Cody, what's up, dude? Actually, we got two Codys now. I'm sorry, that's Coco. Oh, let's get in the corner. I believe that's Craig Austri! Bang! Come on! Oh, the press is on. Oh, don't go for it like that, Hasheem. Does anybody know who drafted Hasheem Thabeet in the draft after his illustrious shot-blocking career at UConn?
Pass, high post, Enjoya dumps it off.
Let's see if we can get pick and roll going here. Jeff Adrian to the rack. And he knocks it down. Come on. 2 minutes to go. We're up by 2.
Aker inbounds the ball.
Oh, stolen by Craig Austri. The chaos is ensuing. Huskies working it. Stanley Robinson. Come on. Timeout, Orange. Was it the Memphis Grizzlies? I believe Hasheem Thabeet was drafted by the Houston Rockets at number 2. I would need someone to fact check me on that. Come on. What a draft that was. Johnny Flynn goes over Steph Curry. To be fair, Tyreek Evans was a baller. I love Tyreek Evans. Weird shot in 2K, but good player.
Well, let's get back to the action.
Alright, let's get back into this thing. Hughes with the ball, down by 5. Huskies on a little bit of a run here, much needed. Classic Northeast, Big East rivalry here between the Huskies and the Orange.
Right wing. Wolf shoots it.
Ah,
Answers right
just
back
in
to
his
zone
face.
But they're still down by 2.
Man, just keep
127
blowing by this guy. Get him in the air. Oh, that's a foul. Damn it. Close.
But they're still out of
Who's
front
Wolf?
by
Is
2.
Wolf, oh, what's his name?
Garrett swings it to the
I
right wing.
forget.
Santos
Oh, come on.
catches it.
Not on the beat. No way. Get out of here.
Passes out left.
Jeff
Backspin.
Adrian.
Enjoy
Oh, would he go for 3?
Grimes
That's not his
beats it
game.
to the wing.
Hand in his face. He doesn't care. Under a minute to go. The Huskies have a 5-point lead. And the crowd's loving it. I'm probably in that crowd. 10-year-old me or 8-year-old me or whatever. Crazy. Crazy. Good pass.
Led him nicely with the
Little
pass.
bit of time left for Hughes.
They draw to within 3.
Oh, God.
Way up
Risky. Adrian.
court. Goes
Spin move. The Huskies are going to win it here in the first half. I'm not going to play both halves,
24.
but I want to keep going. I think Wolf. Oh, I'm forgetting his name.
Dishes it to the right
Good
wing.
shooter. Routens? Andy Routens? Something like that,
Wolf
Cody.
catches it.
Shalafu.
Left wing.
Oh, it blocks it.
Missed from 3-point range.
See if we can jam it to end the half. We'll take a layup. And UConn reigns supreme. God bless the UConn Huskies.
What do you think of the first half, Will?
I can't think of too much good to say about this game so far. Maybe you can do play-by-play.
Coco, did Sociedad win? Yes, Andy Routens. I was right. I'm all about deep cuts. I love it.
Now we'll bring you our player of the half. Who's your pick, Will?
Like, look at this also. Look at this halftime presentation. I'm not going out of it yet because genuinely, you get a player of the half, you get highlights, and there are so many little presentation things that if they were just a little bit better graphics and whatnot, man, like, this game is in-depth, better than anything that's out currently in 2026, 19 years later. Look at that. They take you into the halftime locker room, halftime adjustments on the whiteboard. We can switch things up. But like I said, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go do something else. Oh, what are our negatives? Let's look at the coach notes. Wouldn't hurt us to go deeper down on our bench. That wasn't my choice. Most of these kids can play. That's what I like to hear. Number 11 can't shoot. That's so terrible, but I love it. Just leave him open. Too tight defense? Nah, there's no such thing. No such thing. Sharpen that pencil.
We're all set to begin the second half, so let's get back into it.
Man, what a game. All right, let's do something else. So, one other thing that's in here, which will appease my career mode FC Destiny crowd, hopefully, if those of you watch this back or have joined me and have no idea what's going on still, you can create a school. You can create chants. You can create players. You can edit current schools. You can create playbooks, create plays. Creating was at its peak at this era in sports gaming. So let's start to create a school. I am not going to do a create a school dynasty yet. I think I've determined I'm going to do my real school dynasty, something that is incredibly nostalgic for me first. We're going to get that out of the way. But let's just show you what I will be doing. I'm thinking I'm going to do this all spring and summer. In the fall, we're going to create a school. Something like that after FC Destiny with Balsa Tavira is over. So here we are. You get to create a school in any kind of way. I'm going to drop the volume just a little bit so you can hear me maybe a little better, but it's also very annoying that, I will say, there's certain things about this game that annoy me, but very little. So you get to choose from over 200 songs to be your fight song, and you get to create everything about your school. Almost. Unfortunately, there's some things I don't like about Create a School in this that I'll show you, but let's go through. Like, I can create a school in Argentina if I wanted to. I've always thought about creating a school in Puerto Rico because that's part of the US. It's something I'm going to consider for my fall series. Let's keep it there. But also, like, the depth of color adjusting is outstanding. You can really... Yeah, Louisiana. Louisiana has like 10 schools. But I would still love to do a school in Louisiana. You know, I've been looking up places to put schools, Coco, and I think in Louisiana I had Natchitoches or something. I don't know, somewhere different. So let's look at the logos first, because that's kind of the first thing you can. I don't know. Golden arrows are was a default for me when I used the yellow team. Unfortunately, you can't. There's not too many here. But anyways, the Norsemen, the Blue Hogs with 2 heads. That one always confused me. Not my favorite. Kind of cool though, I guess. The Monarchs, the Fighting Monarchs. I guess that's good if you want to do like a red version of ODU or something. The Reapers, kind of solid. Demons. We're getting a very hellish theme with these. Skeeters, never liked that one. It's just not... Doesn't feel like a college logo to me. Unless you're an M school, I guess that would be cool. Natchitoches? Northwestern State? Puerto Rico State University. Actually, Puerto Rico has... Fun fact, Cody. Puerto Rico has, I think, 2 or 3 schools in the University of Puerto Rico system that compete in the NCAA Division II level. Pretty sick. Luchadores is an awesome one. I mean, if I could ever figure out a way to do like I don't know, maybe like a New Mexico team, but that would conflict with my UTEP love. Let's drop the fight song audio just a little bit more. Actually, let's pick a new fight song because it gets repetitive. This literally, it just plays over and over and over. I know 29 is Yukon. Believe me, I've been here before. This is Yukon's fight song. All right, Gold Rush again. Miners are cool. It's like, I don't know, I like it, I just think it's very specific. Skyhawks is a cool one. The color's okay, it's like Coastal Carolina, not my favorite. Probably my least favorite. I hate the color scheme here. The fading red to orange to gray. It's so close to being cool, but like it just doesn't, is there something about it that I just don't like, even though it's the most obvious one? Like Warriors is such a common name in college sports athletics, but I just don't like that one. How simple can we get? The Buckets. It is kind of cool. It's not something I've ever seen a school call themselves, but Buckets are always an option. Now here's one of my favorite ones. The Moose. It's a great logo. I mean, it's just simple, and it's a cool, a little bit fearsome looking, not typical college mascot logo. One of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, the Llamas, if I ever do that. Maybe we could be the Puerto Rico State Llamas or something. I don't know. The Dragons, absolutely another favorite for sure. Let's keep choosing new songs so you don't have to listen to the same one. If anyone knows this fight song, let me know what school you think this is, if you can hear it. I don't even know if you can hear it. My friend Connor, who plays for the Savannah Bananas, would love this one. Dragons, Rays, Rip Steve Irwin, also literally just the Tampa Bay Rays, but in college form. Orb Weavers, always an interesting and different one here. Really strange mascot there. I don't really know what we would choose as an actual mascot for the Orb Weavers. There's no spiders out there. Werewolves, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty cool logo. I just don't think I would choose it for my college. It's a little weird. I mean, believe me, there are some weird colleges out there, like the Billikens of St. Louis, that aren't even a real thing. But I'm not feeling the Werewolves. Death Dealers, it's a good logo. I don't know why they're calling it Death Dealers. Dude's just a cowboy. Kind of. He's like a hard-hitting cowboy. I like the Death Dealers logo. That's a good one. And we're back to the Golden Arrows. So what is that? 1, 2, 3. 19 options. Why wouldn't they just do 20? And why wouldn't they, I don't know. I don't feel like there's a lot of great options in there, but that's why we're not doing that first. And let's move on to a new fight song. Ooh, this is a good one. This one grooves. Alright, let's keep going. So, you get all the basic school stuff, colors, whatnot. I mean, it's a bit of everything. And then you can choose mascot. And if you saw... Oh, you could do no mascot, but why would you do that? If you saw my thumbnail, I have a favorite amongst these mascots. I'm going to go through them very quickly and stop on the ones that I like. Demon Deacons, that's a good one. Oh, this is such a random mascot. I'm sure Dayton has upgraded their mascot costume at this point, but what a funky looking mascot. What a weird smile. One of my favorites, to be honest. He could be a candidate because you can't really see the Dayton logo anywhere. Man, what a funky looking dude. Oh, yeah, Richmond is the Spiders. That's true. But Richmond is also, like, not in the game in terms of mascots. You'll see. There's just the Colonials, the Minutemen. Everybody's got a mascot in here. Go Huskies! I believe that's Jonathan in this game. The Yukon Husky mascot. Georgetown. The Miami Hurricanes, whose mascot is a duck. It is a duck. Hello, hello from Indonesia. Shout out Eko Saran, AC Capri legend. Shout out Indonesia. We definitely tried to get Eko Saran involved in the series last year. His hair changed to color pink, and Indonesia popped off in that series. So shout out to you. Yes, the Hurricanes, who are represented by a duck. There's a lot of weird ones like that. And then there's some mascots that are just a man. Notre Dame. If you're a fan of footy, you're here from FC Destiny, and you're still not really understanding it, like, this is literally, we would be creating a university, you know, that kids used to go to school for 4 years at, or close to it, and that's it. But anyways, let's just keep creating this school. So, we got Fighting Irish, Panthers, Scarlet Knights. I'm trying to appease a bigger crowd. There's Otto Cody. That is the Syracuse Orange mascot, which is not actually a fruit orange. He is literally just orange. Otto is just an orange thing. Am I right in saying that, Cody? Because he's not actually the fruit. He's just an orange ball. Not to say that that's a bad thing. He's one of the most iconic mascots in the sport. Mountaineers is just a person. Golden Gophers is a great mascot. Brutus is iconic. Yeah, you know what's funny? The Nittany Lion of Penn State still looks the same. I feel like they should have updated this one a while ago. I know it's nostalgic for that school, for that fan base, but man, it's not one of the better looking mascots. Oh god, I want to talk about one of the not better looking mascots. This guy's, it's just an unappealing looking mascot. Whereas the Badger of Wisconsin, I think that's a dope ass costume. Just saying. Colorado's got a solid mascot. The Jayhawk of Kansas. I'm not sure which tiger that is. The Cornhusker is so big in this game. Hello, snails are awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Cornhusker. I never liked this one just because his arms fade in and out of him. It's funny. The Cowboys, kind of low quality in this game. The Texas Tech Red Raider, they just came out with some alternate Texas Tech logos. I love the Red Raider mascot, the huge red mustache, the eyes, the cartoon eyes. The Pirates of East Carolina, that's a good one. More Cardinals. There's a lot of repeats. There's the Billiken. And we should really mix this up. I hate that it just keeps playing. I wish the menu music would play. Like, there's 200 options. I don't know. Anyways, Horned Frogs, go TCU. UAB Blazers, the Bulldogs. Is that Harvard's mascot, Cody? I've never actually seen this guy before. I'm sure I'm just missing a piece of college history there, but just looks like a pilgrim, which I guess that is what they are. The Bulls, the Golden Flashes, the Thundering Herd, the Toledo Rocket. That's a favorite of mine for sure. The Toledo logo technically isn't on there, so the Rockets are freaking awesome. What's up, dude? We're just going through some of the fun features that College Hoops 2K8 has that's quite literally better than anything out today. I mean, NBA 2K has a good creative option, but man, this just has such a better feel to it, in my opinion. This is a favorite, to be honest, of mine to use. Providence. Providence are the Friars. Are they in here? We're getting there. Alright, the Rockets are a favorite of mine. The Pirates are, because the Pirates don't have a logo anywhere on their mascot, so it's a good look in my opinion. The Sycamores! I don't really think that's a sycamore. That looks like a fox. Falcons, Cougars, Lobos. I'm not sure what a Lobo is. The Runnin' Rebels! A favorite of mine. The best mustache in college basketball. UNLV I used to really love watching. They had some of the best crowds in college basketball back when Vegas was really jumping. San Diego State, UNLV were in the top 20 every year. Man, some of those teams were so much fun to watch. But they have absolutely faded. A school that's won a national championship before. And they beat Duke. One of the best Duke teams ever. Anyways, carry on. Cowboys, Wildcats, Sun Devils. It's a good mascot. Arizona State's got a really good one. Don't love the Cal Golden Bear. He's a funky looking dude. Kind of looks like a Disney mascot. A little bit too nice looking. Beavers. Oh, there it is! There he is! If you had to guess what school's mascot this is and you don't know, man, this is the best mascot in college sports. It's actually gotten much worse, to be honest. There's been updates to the Stanford tree. So Stanford on the West Coast, if you don't know, is one of the most prestigious schools, one of the hardest schools to get into in the country. It's beautiful. It's a big school. It's, you know, it's like an Ivy League school of the West Coast. Ivy League schools are all the smarty smarts of the United States. They are the Northeast schools that represent, like, future law attorneys and CEOs. It's, you know, you have to be smart to get into those schools. Stanford's like that on the West Coast. And Stanford's mascot is the Cardinal. Now, I really should have looked up more about this, but this is literally their mascot. The Cardinal is not a bird. The Cardinal has to do with a tree of some sort. I could go further into this as I look more up, but I do want to carry on. But man, look at this thing. You can see the guy's legs. I just think it's hysterical that they came up with this, and I am so happy it's been a thing for so long. They have dressed up the tree for holidays. It's so freaking random, and it's gotten worse because nowadays with the tree, you can see the person's face in the middle, which I think is stupid. It takes away from the aura of the mascot. It's gross looking now. I should probably find a picture and show you guys, but good, I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's a little bit different as we stare at the Stanford Cardinal mascot. Let's see some others. UCLA's got a solid one because he kind of dresses like a basketball player for the sport. It's a good idea. That's the Washington Huskies logo. So many repeats. Army Black Knights. Navy Midshipmen, which is a ram. The Razorbacks, really good logo. Believe that's Clemson's Tiger. I think the earlier Tiger was LSU. Famous Florida Gator. Maybe that's LSU's Tiger. Can't really tell, but I like knowing that there's multiple Tigers. Yes. Stanford's backdrop for football is one of the best in college football. It's beautiful. It's a big stadium. That's a really awesome school. Talking about one of the most famous mascots in the sport, Western Kentucky's Hilltopper. Big Red. Iconic. I tried using him for thumbnails for college football content in the past. Let's switch things up more. I really want to get through this so we don't have to keep listening to the same fight song. Can you guys hear the fight songs? Because I can hear them. It's lower volume for you guys. It's louder for me. I've been hearing the same fight song on repeat for the past, 10 minutes. By the way, if anybody unsubscribes and then resubscribes, I made a little animation that pops up for people who do subscribe or donate or offer supers or anything of that sort. I would love to see it in action if it works. have some fight songs listed that I can... Is it too loud where you can't hear me? Oh, that's true. That's a good fight song. Alright, so you can pick your rivals. Let's keep going. Anyways, we'll pick this fun Louisiana Feelin' fight song that hopefully Coco can listen to. Yeah, so you can choose whatever rivals you want from whatever conference. And one of the coolest things about College Hoops 2K8, there are classic teams. And for a college game, I think that is so epic and cool. Yes, these players aren't named perfectly. Like, I don't know if these are the guys. Maybe they are. No, I think it's random names. But either way, this is a good look at team cards as well. Let me read some of your comments. Okay. Well, if they're loud, that's good. I want you to hear them, but I don't want them to be too loud. I guess you guys have been listening to the same fight songs I have. Anyways, so let's look at a team card here, because this is another reason why I love this game. You get the details, the team, the conference, if they've been to the Final Four, if they've won the national championship, if they've ever made it to the tournament, when the last time they did was, because droughts and tournaments last for long times, and it's cool to see all these kinds of things. You get your lineup. Oh my god, that is... Wait, so is... Yes, it is, because BB Bright is Bill Russell. Is that BB? What a strange name. Okay, thank you, Cody. Coco Cody. Got a few Codys. Yeah, BB Bright is Bill Russell. That is insane. So you get... Team Unity is interesting, because when teams play together for a long period of time, they gain chemistry together, which is very realistic and something that I wish FIFA had, or EAFC. Really wish that was a feature. Confidence being a feature. Players get hot, they start to gain more confidence. Very useful. You have your team schedule in here, stats, like everything you would see in a tournament resume. Very cool. Yeah, you get your road record, you get your record versus the top 100 teams, top 20 teams, or 50, 200, over 200. You get your rankings, all of the statistics team-wise. You get to see the team's arena. If you're trying to choose a team for a legacy in this game, you can see where they play, what it looks like, how many people it holds, and the average attendance from the past year. Very, very cool things. I mean, this is so simple to have in a game. It's pretty amazing that things like this have gone away with all games. Anyways, let's continue. So let's say we pick a rival for Puerto Rico. Let's say we pick Florida Gulf Coast, and that would be your #1 rival. Those games end up being a little bit more intense. I don't think there's actually a huge difference in this game, but still the concept is awesome. Madness, this is an interesting one. You can edit your... So, college basketball teams play a game versus themselves in front of their student body to start off the season. Kind of like a... What am I thinking of? What's the word? A pep rally. It's like a pep rally. Yeah, 2K's dropped off, man. A lot of games have dropped off. Anyways, yeah, so Madness, you can name it. Like, Midnight Madness is the common name for it, but Madness is like the first game of the season before the season starts, between your own team. There's usually a dunk contest, a three-point contest. It's to get the fans ready for the college basketball season. And you can name your student section. Let's mix up the song. I think one more time of that song, I'm gonna... Oh my god, it's frustrating. Yeah, college football does the same thing. I think most college sports have some kind of kickoff, volleyball, basketball, baseball. I'm not sure if it's quite the same, but basketball is usually a good turnout because it's mixed with the mini games and things. I don't know. It depends on the school as well. Let's go 131. That's Air Force, I think. Anyways, then you can completely design your arena. How many games can you do this in nowadays? 0. This is unbelievable. 2007, way ahead of everyone else. You can name it. You've got variations of all kinds. I do wish there was a little bit more variation of stadium in this game, but with a game like this, in this year, can't get picky. So you got variation 1, which doesn't have the ends, Variation 2, which is kind of like, this is my go-to for create a schools because it does remind me of the gym from Hoosiers, if you know what I'm talking about, the Hickory Hoosiers gym from that movie. It does just a little bit. It's got the short stands. It's kind of up in your face. It looks a little bit like the pitched ceiling looks kind of like a church. I like that, the basketball church. Variation 3 is another good option for a small school. It looks a little bit more like Maui, like the Lahaina Civic Center. As we carry on, we get much very quickly we get much bigger, but what we don't have is capacities. I think this is probably closer to 20,000. This is probably closer to 5,000. Maybe 5,000. Variation 4 is a little bit bigger. You got the box seats up top. All of a sudden, Variation 5 is huge. You got seats on the side that look like college graduation day, and then you've got the massive stands behind them. Maybe a little bit more like a Minnesota or Illinois. I think those Midwest schools have some schools like this. Definitely a dome. And then we get bigger. I think this is also a dome. This is kind of like the variation that looks like UConn's home arena, with the Gamble Pavilion. It's a good option. And then you get to the football stadiums. Just massive difference. This is, I think, one of them is bigger than the other. There's 2 football stadiums, which is strange, but makes sense for colleges. Some do that, aka the Syracuse University Orange. Variation 8's a solid option. It looks smaller than the other variations, so this isn't in order of size. And there's the other football stadium, I think. It's huge. It looks huge. But anyways, let's carry on. You can design the floor, everything, colors of everything. You can add volleyball lines if you want to have that real multi-purpose facility, small school feel. You can have a basketball logo in there. Lots of little things that just add up at the end of the day. Because, you know, I mean, you can look. I can change the color of the lanes to have a little bit more pop inside the arc. You can do so many things. So many things in this game. It's amazing. To me. Baskets. Let's go with a hanging basket, because that's an option. Kinds of metal. You can change the color of the kind of metal for your school. And then you can create your coach as well. Not a lot of great options with the faces for coaches. But this is something we're going to be doing very soon, actually. Oh, you can also choose between male and female cheerleaders as your primary cheerleaders. I wonder if you choose male cheerleaders, do the females act as the support as the males jump in the air? Now that would be a sight to behold, but let's keep it on female. And that is everything you can do with creating a school in the beginning. And then Legacy begins, and it is just... oh, it's such a good, detailed game mode. But let me show you a little bit more on the rosters. So, let me show you a little bit more about player cards, because I think they're pretty cool. So, it's by position. Let's start there. For those of you that are going to stick around for my Legacy, I think this is important to know off the bat. So, I mean, players come from all over. Lots of notes on these player screens, but let's just start here. So everybody has a potential, and that is pretty dynamic. Players will not always reach that potential, which I like. Again, this is 2007. Dynamic potential was in College Hoops 2K8 before it was in EAFC. Wild. But yeah, there's a number that each guy has. Like if you go into Enjoya, who this is Hashim Thabit in-game. I mean, look at all the in-depth things in-game in the player. Between accessories, attributes. Let's go back down to where I had this. Alright, but anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, so you can see his attributes. So I believe potential is at the bottom. Yeah, so you do get a potential number. Like Hashim Thabit's potential was a 94 in College Hoops 2K8. He doesn't get to a 94 every time. He does sometimes. But, like, Cornell McCullough was Jeff Adrian. I believe he made it to the NBA as well. Not an illustrious NBA career. But let's show off... where's AJ Price? Oh, he's the top player. So AJ Price made it to the NBA, played for the Pacers, great player. This is him. And what's cool about it is he's a point guard, so I'm looking at the 3-point stat up in the top left because it's a C-. However, it's a C- for a point guard. For a center, a 66 3-pointer might be a B or an A. So these all depend on the player, and that is how the player is rated. So when we get into recruiting and start looking at players and start scouting future high school players for our team, our school, it's only going to show grades. So you got to think about position and grade together, what it would mean for a point guard to have B speed. That would be 90. That's pretty good. But for a center, B speed might be like a 70 or a 60. Anyways, little notes along the way. Alright, what else can I show off? So, we've got records. Yeah, so I mean, like, this is something I like to see if we can add up along the years too. I mean, something that doesn't exist at all in EAFC or Madden, and you can't track your individual success over the years. These are my records, so if I play a game with a team, full game, start to finish, total points are going to be recorded. So, I may score 70. That'll show up here. That'll be the highest game I've ever scored. Next game I play, I score 91. That's going to replace it and show here. But if I made more free throws in that first game, it'll stay. Records last, which are so cool. Game records. Maybe that's what this is. But I think my records are just it's the same thing, game and my record. But NCAA records are legit. These, as of this year, were all legit historic records. And I don't know if you set a record in quick games, does it actually update in here? Not sure. But anyways, I digress. So let's meet some of the schools. Another cool thing you can do is just look through the conferences. You can just scroll menus forever in this game. And as you can tell, I like doing that kind of thing. But this is back when the schools and conferences actually looked geographically normal. Like, they made some sense. They were in the same region. Oregon wasn't playing Rutgers in a frickin' conference game. Getting tired of that. But anyways, yeah, so this was the old Big East, man. The memories I have from this conference are absolutely incredible. Every team in this conference was pretty solid, but it was so big and powerful and historic. Like, the Big East started with Northeast schools that wanted to all make a name for themselves in the media market. So they got schools from, like, DePaul's in Chicago, UConn kind of takes over Connecticut, and then you've got Seton Hall and St. John's that kind of take over the New York City media market, which is huge. Syracuse, Western New York, kind of upstate New York. Villanova, Philadelphia. Notre Dame gets Indiana. Marquette is Milwaukee, big city. Louisville's a city in itself. Pitt is Pittsburgh. Georgetown is Washington, D.C. Providence is Rhode Island. Like, all of these are schools that were supposed to draw big media markets to the conference. I mean, if you're a junkie like me for this kind of thing, go watch Requiem for the Big East. It's a 30 for 30 that ESPN did, or whatever they call those. I think it's 30 for 30. Haven't watched a good one of those in a while, but man, it tells the story. Like, the Big East and ESPN were born together. It's not like ESPN needed something to broadcast, so they broadcasted the Big East. And the coaches in the conference were icons, and they showed them in timeouts, they showed them after the game, getting fed up. Back when Boeheim was young and had a little bit more hair and huge, massive glasses. I mean, even before that, well before that, there were legends like John Thompson, just massive coach, intimidating Georgetown coach. But, yeah, man, it was just a completely different era of college basketball and college sports, and I miss it badly. I really miss it. But let's keep going. So the Big Sky is kind of that northern Midwest, just kind of like the northwest mountainous region of the country, a little bit smaller schools. This is a little bit of an education for anyone that wants it who ends up watching this someday from my channel. I want it to be partial education, partial epic reliving history here. The Big South, at this time, only 8 teams. It's a small conference, all kind of small schools. Coastal Carolina has definitely taken off the most out of this conference. High Point just won the Big South this year and will be heading to the tournament. If you're picking brackets, I would be all for picking High Point. What an awesome team that is in real life right now. The Big Ten, only 11 teams and not full of West Coast schools. What a beautiful, beautiful sight this is, man. Truly, this is such a great thing to see. This is how it's supposed to be. But look at the Big Ten by 2007. 43 Final Fours and 10 national championships. most of them Michigan State. But seriously, such a cool conference at the time because it was truly between, states that hated each other in athletics. The Midwest basketball scene is epic. I mean, the Indiana Hoosiers are college basketball royalty. Coco Southern Conference. Oh, the SoCon. Anyways, let's keep going. I'm trying to read comments and participate here. I need to expand my screen. I got my comments like all over the place. Listen, first time streaming in a while. I gotta get used to some of these things, so bear with me. Hopefully you can rock out to the college fight songs in the background. Hopefully that's helping us all get the feeling here. But anyways, Big 12 used to be perfectly set up in the bottom central of the United States. Like, geographically, all these teams make total sense to play each other, to hate each other, recruit against each other, all things that should still exist nowadays, but do not. Another reason why I love this game. As we continue on, though, is just more of that. How about, this one always makes me laugh, the Big West. Literally all Big West schools in California at the time. Epic. 9 members. UNLV used to be the darlings of this conference. What a school. I mean, there's some great schools in there. The UC Irvine Anteaters, the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. Such a cool conference. And it just makes me feel so much better seeing all this. The Colonial Conference, all kind of East historic feeling schools. I don't know how to describe the Colonial. Oh, they have an old soul feel to them, kind of all of them do. Conference USA, a little bit more jumbled, but that was kind of the point of that conference. Memphis used to be the absolute darlings of this conference back when Derrick Rose and Chris Douglas Roberts took them to the national championship. It could be this team. I don't remember the year, but back when they lost to, was it Sharon Collins? Or Mario Chalmers hit that 3 against Memphis? Man, I almost put that in the intro video. I should have. Great shot. Horizon League, another Midwest team, kind of like the MAC in terms of area. A famous mascot that I love of mine, the Youngstown State Penguins, the last mascot you see on that list. But also the Butler Bulldogs, who have, man, since this game, the Butler Bulldogs have been a part of college basketball history like no one could have ever expected. Back-to-back national championships, and a half-court heave away from beating Duke. And then they threw up against UConn, but, man, cool to see them in the horizon, the Butler Bulldogs. Was Georgia State in the CUSA? Oh, CAA. Oh, yeah, no, that is the Colonial. That's right, Georgia State in the Colonial Conference. George Mason, VCU, Wilmington, Hofstra. I think Hofstra got the bid out of the Colonial Conference this year. In real life. The Independents. It's strange. It's strange that I don't know if these were all actually independent schools. They may have just been schools that just joined the NCAA in 2007. Yeah, I got you. Ivy League, this is iconic. If you don't know, these are the smarties. These are the businessmen who also play basketball. It's a mostly white conference. Just is. Not nowadays, maybe, but, I mean, there's no dominant team in this conference, and there never really has been, which I think is cool, but I'm obviously partial to the Yale Bulldogs of New Haven, Connecticut, the pizza capital of the world. The MAC, or actually, I used to love this. There's the MAC, and to me, it's the MAC. It's the MAC. It's longer. It's 2 A's. You just say it with an elongated pronunciation. Basically, it's the same conference, just this one's more Atlantic, and this one's more Middle America, which is cool. I think that's cool. Shout out Brad Stevens and the Butler Bulldogs. Independence, Georgia? There's Savannah State. That's the Tiger. Am I right? I'm pretty sure that's Savannah State, the 5th logo next to New Jersey Institute of Technology. If anyone can name all of those, that would be damn impressive. I think Chicago State is the first one. But yeah. We carry on to the MAC. Full of teams from the Northeast and the MAC. which is turned into an epic football conference full of schools that can never figure it out for more than a year. So it's constantly great matchups. And they all hate each other because they're all from a good region for sports lovers. Who else is in this? Oh, that's what I wanted to say in terms of MAC things. Miami of Ohio, 31-0 in real life. Epic story in terms of real March Madness. And they lost to the 8-seed UMass Minutemen yesterday. That is going to be something to watch. If they don't get in the tournament, man, there's going to be a riot. They are the darlings of mid-major basketball this year. They have been on fire. Honestly, they haven't blown out everybody. They've won a lot of close games. I think they have 9 games they've been in now that are decided by 1 or 2 scores. But they lost in the tournament, so they do not get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. So interested to see what happens there right now. Yes, snails are awesome. That is actually another good point. Miami of Ohio just spent, like, I don't know what the number was, but their NIL budget is exceeding any other MAC school by quite a bit right now. Pretty cool. I think they should get in. That's my take on that. But definitely something to watch out for. So, the Mid-Eastern, the MEAC, this is full of the historic black college universities in the United States. I don't know how long it's been that way. I guess it was founded in 1970. But there is a lot of history in this conference, and I'm not going to speak too much to it because I don't want to get anything wrong, but basically these are historically all black schools, which is, to me, pretty awesome that it has stayed that way, and a lot of these schools honor great history from back when they were founded, which is pretty awesome. I know, I was watching I think it was Howard and Delaware State basketball game a few years ago, and it's amazing to hear the success stories that have come out of the MEAC. Like, I think Gus Johnson went to Howard, and he was calling the game at Howard, which was so, small school, small gym, but they provide so much history about the conference when they do things like that. It's very cool. I love the MEAC. Missouri Valley, look where it is. It's the Missouri Valley. That feels so right. And this is such a good basketball-loving section of the United States. Cornfield-loving, just three-point shooting guys. This is a favorite of mine for picking in the NCAA tournament every year. Oh, the SWAC. That's right. Yeah, I mean, like, these are, and were, at the time, schools that... Yeah, that's interesting. There's so much conference jumbling nowadays. But anyways, the Missouri Valley, usually, I mean, it's funny to see Wichita State's old logo. Wichita State absolutely became the darlings of this conference right after this era in the 2010s. Some legends, man. Ron Baker, Fred Van Vliet. Oh, who am I missing? I can't just stop there. Cleanthony Early? Yeah. There's some deep cuts from Wichita State. A lot of them pretty solid NBA players. No stars, but, I mean, this conference has produced Larry Bird from Indiana State, man. There are some sharpshooters from here. Creighton moved to the Big East. Doug McDermott, March Madness legend, mostly a college basketball legend. I think they lost in a game they shouldn't have in March Madness. Cleanthony Early. Oh, and a favorite of mine again. If you haven't noticed, I love it all. I'm such a college basketball fan. This was a good conference back then. BYU still in the Mountain West. TCU still in the Mountain West. Not necessarily making a ton of sense. I think UTEP going to the Mountain West makes more sense of a fit than TCU. But I think Utah and BYU in the Mountain West fits right in. This was a solid conference. Like I said, San Diego State and UNLV had some dominant battles in the 2010s. Some really good schools in here. New Mexico's had some good teams. Colorado State has had... I think they won a tournament game last year. I think they won the conference. Not sure who's too good in that conference this year, but I do remember, if you don't remember, the San Diego State Aztecs, national champion runner-ups a few years ago against, oh, you guessed it, the UConn Huskies. The NEC, one of the worst conferences in college basketball. It just is. Quinnipiac has since left this conference. Sacred Heart, I believe, has since left this conference. And right now, the NEC has turned into whatever Northeast school joins Division I just ends up in the NEC. So it's been Merrimack, and I think not Long Island, but it's funny seeing Long Island's logo right now, because they are now the Sharks, but they're also the third logo in there. I think they were the Blackbirds? What a wild mix-up for a team in the heart of Brooklyn. The Sharks. I am all in on LAU. I hope they get a 16 seed and upset somebody. But, who is it? It's not Monmouth. Monmouth had a good run. Bryant, thank you. Bryant, Merrimack, and now I think there's Mercyhurst. Something Mercyhurst. There's a lot of new schools in this conference nowadays. It's definitely the worst, I think. It's one of the worst. A lot of those teams are not very good. Let's move on to the Ohio Valley. Again, kind of like the Missouri Valley, I think the big story here since this game came out to nowadays, maybe Murray State and John Morant. What a team that was. I actually got to see that Murray State team when they came to Hartford to play in the NCAA tournament. Got to see John Morant practice, and what an epic, epic thing that was. The dude, one of the best athletes I've ever seen on the basketball court. Kind of a mixed NBA career so far, as good as he is. Oh, back when this was the Pac-10, not even 12. I should say Pac-2 nowadays. What a conference this used to be, as the late, great Bill Walton used to say, the Conference of Champions, man. Arizona and Arizona State in there, UCLA and Cal, USC and UCLA, Stanford, Oregon, all these rivalries, Oregon and Washington, Washington State, Oregon State. Just a beautiful conference. And just 10 teams, but I think adding Utah and Colorado actually was a good move, but missed the Pac-10. Patriot League. Is the Patriot League still a thing? I think it is. I think Lehigh is still in there. I don't think Navy and Army are still in there. I think that's where the American came in. Shout out American University. Technically. Colgate, like the toothpaste. Lehigh. CJ McCollum. Bucknell. Who was the big white guy on Bucknell? Muscala? Mike Muscala? Is that right? I think so. Navy should have got in this year, though. They got gypped. Actually, not gypped. Shout out to my BYU, or BU, Terriers. Boston University with an epic buzzer beater against Navy. That was kind of sick. Ah, yes. The darling of college football. The SEC. Southeastern Conference. Used to be an epic basketball conference. Back when Shaq was in there at LSU. Go Tigers, baby. Shout out to the SEC. I mean, shout out to the SEC for pretty much staying the same, just adding Texas and Oklahoma. I do respect that. I do like that. The SEC is actually, it's stuck to its ways in the kind of way that I like. There it is. There's the SoCon. Yeah. Hey, actually, to be honest, the SEC has produced some epic basketball schools. Like, Florida had back-to-back national championships. I believe it was this year. This is 2K8. This would have been the first or second year of Florida's back-to-back chips. Kentucky hired Calipari and went off right after this game came out. Alabama has had a crazy good run recently. Auburn, they were good. Now they're not. It was quick. There it is, up in the top right, GS, baby. Georgia Southern. Shout out to the alma mater of the man in the chat, the commish. Chattanooga's a favorite of mine, the Mocs. Great, great logo and name. Is that the Citadel? Charleston Southern. Oh, I've got a deep cut from Charleston Southern. Do you guys remember Andrew Gaudelock? I believe he got drafted by the Lakers. Maybe. But holy shit, Andrew Gaudelock was epic to watch. Like, deep threes like no other player I've ever seen. Him and Jimmer Fredette were the shit. They were awesome. Funny mentioning Davidson. Of course, it's Steph Curry. I think Wofford's actually turned into the best school here recently. Furman had that epic winner that I put in the intro with Pig East in the tournament. That was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Georgia Southern's got to get the basketball conference on track, man. App State's better football school than most here. Did you see Luke Combs said he wants to back App State in terms of like just shoving NIL money at them, but he won't do it because of how the NIL works or the portal works. nowadays because guys don't have any obligation to stay more than 1 year after they transfer in, which is something that I'm very happy does not happen in this game. It's such a better system. I just like commitment. Like, if a guy goes to a school, he can't just transfer right away. You gotta sit out a year, get eligible. But yeah, man, SoCon, Luke Combs, App State, Andrew Gaudelec, Steph Curry, Coco at Georgia Southern. What a conference. The Southland, one of my least known conferences. Only 3 schools here. A lot of Louisiana. I just banged my knee into my table. Damn it. Ow. We're good. We're good. A university and province plays Princeton, Alaska, UMass, BU, Colorado, College, Liberty, and stuff. What? What are we talking about? Oh, that McNeese team. I thought they were going to be so much better last year. I will say that about the Southland. How many teams in here are Louisiana? I mean, Nichols gives it away. Actually, wait, no it doesn't. Nichols is the red end. Is that Northwestern State? That is. Southeastern Zealot, Louisiana. That's Texas Corpus Christi. Is UCA Central Arkansas? Yep, McNeese. McNeese is Louisiana, right? That's 4 schools. What's the Roadrunner? What's the last mascot? I actually don't know if I know that. I feel like I should. Anyways, let's move on from the Southland. The SWAC. SWAC attack. Oh, Northwestern is Natchitoches. Oh, so Copilot lied to me. I think that's Elkhorn State in there. That's Southern. That's another Louisiana school in there. What a logo for. I think that's Mississippi Valley State. The Devils. What a logo. What a classic logo that is. There's Arkansas Pine Bluff in the middle there. How about that? They are Louisiana. Southern's got a good logo. It's just I think it's a Jaguar. Ah, one of the better schools for names in here. Also, this is one I never understood. I think I should have looked this up, but I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer to just do it on a whim. What is UL Calcutta? Is that that's not, it cannot be a real school. I think it's just a school in here to replace a school that didn't want to be in the game. I have no idea, but I've always wondered why UL Calcutta looks totally generic. Which is the C, all the way to the right, the orange C. There's South Dakota State and North Dakota State in the Summit, which I think that has changed. I don't even know if this conference still exists. Maybe I'm wrong. Jackson State. What, was Jackson State in there? Oh, yeah. Anyways, UL Calcutta can't be real. I don't think it is. What do we got? IPF. Oh, that's right. Where is IUPUI? It's my favorite. They're the Jaguars, I think. I don't think it says their name, but it's the Indiana University of Purdue University of Indiana. I think I got that right. It's epic. It's just so random. Oral Roberts, remember that Oral Roberts run? What were they, a 15 seed a few years ago? Man, knowledge. I love it. I love getting into this stuff. Sun Belt, Classic Conference, goes right across the Sun Belt. I don't know how similar this is nowadays. I think teams have moved around. Obviously, FAU and FIU have both moved to the American, I believe. Oh, you're talking about a Canadian school. Oh, that's cool. What uni is it? Oh yes, the Fun Belt, of course. I love this school for football. It's kind of like the Southern MAC. It's the vibe of the Southern version of the MAC. Yeah, it is a lot different nowadays, you're right. How about that old Southern Alabama logo? That's terrible. It is so much better nowadays. They've changed their colors and everything. It looks a lot better. Who's the pirate? Is that Hampton? Simon Fraser. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, like Puerto Rico's schools play against, I think, some Florida schools and whatnot for the Division II that they're in. Arkansas State's turned into a solid football program. I don't know if they're still in the Sun Belt, though. Interesting. Oh, remember the Arkansas Little Rock run? They beat Purdue. a few years ago, or 4 or 5 years. All these things feel like a few years ago that I'm saying, but they could be like 7 years ago. I feel like every school I've been like, man, remember that run a few years ago? Could have been like 8, could have been 2. It's a general term I'm using. Oh, New Orleans, that's the Privateers. Nice. West Coast Conference, classic. This is actually pretty cool that I think Oregon State joined for basketball. Maybe Washington State did too, before they will be going to the Pac-12 or whatever they're building it as. Yeah, but this has been Gonzaga's conference since. I don't know who the best team in this conference is in the game. I don't know if I can look either. It's not really a way I can look. Tip. Use the right stick. Thanks. Nice. Yeah, West Coast Conference is kind of standard. Really wish Santa Clara beat Gonzaga this year. That would have been awesome. Anyways, we move on. The WAC. The WAC does not exist anymore, I think. I think that's just disbanded. All of these teams have new conferences. Louisiana Tech was in the WAC. Strange. How strange is that? Louisiana Tech, Nevada. Random matchup. Like, why would Louisiana Tech be going up to play against the Idaho Vandals in a conference game? But I love it. Anyways, I think we've made it through the conferences. Oh, no, there's more. The America East. The other terrible Northeast conference in terms of prestige, I would say, not in terms of love. A lot of love here. How about UMBC being in the America East? Shout out to the first ever 16 seed to ever beat a 1 seed. And it was the Virginia Cavaliers, who won the national championship the next year. Wild. That's Binghamton, BU, UHart. UHart in the middle there, the Hawks, who are now a Division III school. Sad, because that's like 10 minutes from where I live. Maybe a little bit more than that. But that used to be a fun conference when Stony Brook and Vermont were going at it, and Albany. Those are 3 teams that got really good at basketball. Oh yeah, the ACC, back when it was just 12 teams and not money hungry, stealing all of the Big East. Assholes. I do think UConn's destined for the Big East someday. I feel like it's eventually going to happen because UConn football is going to need a conference like that. And money-wise, football talks. We all know that. Or, football-wise, money talks. Something like that. Shout out Vin Baker. Yeah, the ACC used to be fun because it was geographical, and look at all those teams on the Atlantic coast. Not Cal Berkeley. Stupid as hell. The Atlantic Sun! Aha! Now we're getting closer to what I'm going to be doing today as the music picks up, maybe. Yeah, the team I'm going to be picking for my legacy that we're going to be doing constantly on this streaming series that I am beginning today is in this conference, if you can guess who it is. Cody knows who it is. Cody C, that is. Actually, are you both Cody C? No, you're just Coco today. Cody Shalafu, you know who I'm going to be. But shout out to the Atlantic Sun. There's been some good upsets out of this conference in the last 10 years or not, or whatever it is. Belmont has had some good teams. Mercer beat Duke. Everybody remembers the Florida Gulf Coast Dunk City run. This is why we love this freaking game. This is why we love college basketball, baby. Anybody can be anybody in March. Yes, hats off to you, my good man. Alright, Atlantic 10 used to be the perfect pick for an upset in March Madness. Not quite anymore, but all of these schools, like St. Joe's or Dayton or URI or George Washington, as soon as they got in the tournament, you pick them in that 12 line, or they're 11, and you pick them, and they win. They get the upset. This was just that conference for so long. Hey, Stetson University. That's a good name. Richmond, another good upset team. Xavier has now since moved to the Big East. Who's the school in Missouri? Oh, St. Louis. There you go. Those are the conferences. Oh! God, I missed that conference. So many legends from this conference. So many. And just recruiting made sense. The only school that was like, why are they in this conference, has always been USF. But that was ironic and funny at the time. Now it's a normal thing for a USF to be in a school like the Big East. I don't mind hearing that you need to catch up on stuff. I'm hopefully going to have a lot for you to catch up on, but I feel the cold. We just had, here in the Northeast, we just had, like, 3 days of 65, 70 degree weather, and it was the biggest gaslighting of all time. A lot of snow melted after this hellish snow season this year. So much snow, you could barely see around corners when you're driving. But it has since melted, and all of a sudden we're back to cold weather. The Northeast makes no sense in terms of weather. But I digress. Let's keep going. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing here today and for many other days. Well, you know what? Maybe we So there's some let's just show off the rest of the menu and then I'll do it. So there's quick game modes. You can do a legacy, which is like franchise career mode. Pontiac tournament and College Hoops Classic are kind of just like different tournaments you can start and play on your own. Very cool. All-American training is a pretty cool feature. If you look at the fun fact, if you look at the old College Hoops 2K8 trailer that came out, YouTube it, Google it. Glenn Davis at LSU was the highlight of the video. I don't know why. A big baby, Davis. But he was showing off the new feature in this game, and the new feature is All-American Training, which is, let's click into it. Basically, you go up against legends of this era, or this game, in practice, and you just try to do skills against them. I think that's pretty cool, but like, yeah, there you go. Like, look at that. Wait a second. I thought they didn't have licensing. That's Mike Conley. Holy shit. JJ Redick. I didn't know they could have them in-game. Maybe because at this point they were in the NBA. That's fair. I think that's Alonzo Tucker. I don't really remember him as much. Who else is in here? There he is! Big Baby Davis! Shout out! Celtic legend! Oh, that's a good one. That's a good deep cut right there. Go Tigers, go Celtics. All at once. So yeah, so All-American Training. Put yourself up against the All-Americans and practice. You can coach, you can watch a game and coach. Yeah, good point. Tutorials, practices, what other options? There was online in this, but I never got to that. Rosters, coach profiles. What is unlockables? I forgot about this. Oh, yeah. It's just like things you can accomplish. Like if you ever get 10 team steals in the game, all of a sudden you get points to use. But what I was always... I'm just trying to remember, like, what do you get out of that? Like, what do you win? Wasn't there a shrine? 2K Oh, my god, I just skipped right over it. So here's a cool thing about this game. The shrine! Which I have nothing, because this is me logging into the game and everything is gone. But these are all classic teams you can unlock as you earn points, as you gain points through the years. These are all different kinds of balls that you can play with in-game. In basketball. Goodness, I can't say something like that ever. More alternate uniforms that you can unlock, which is pretty dope. Kind of wish they were just in-game. But, I mean, this also has new arenas, but if you look in the middle, there's things that, like, show off your NCAA championships. If you win a chip with UConn, it'll show up right there. Anyways, you can see your trophies all throughout the middle. I think those are just NCAA championships. Yeah. What else is in this middle? Am I running over the... I'm running right through the middle. Winning. It's not all that great. Wait, what? What kind of... what kind of poster is that? That's hysterical. Arenas. Yeah, this is just like... This is such a simple thing that doesn't take a lot of effort from games to do. That would be so cool to have. Like, see all the accomplishments you've had while playing the game you're playing. That's it. That's all it needs to show. I don't know what plaques are. I'm not gonna lie. I know what a plaque is. I don't know why they would be in the game. I don't know what... Whatever. We'll see if we get a plaque someday. Coach awards. Maybe you win Coach of the Year or whatnot. Team trophies. I'm guessing that's like maybe conference trophies. And that's a mirror. I guess. Can we go in here? The door's open. Alright. But yeah, like, how sick is this? Does stuff go up there? Interesting. Oh, look at that. And you can walk out to campus if you'd like. Out to the commons. Out to the co-op and get yourself some mott sticks. Man, what a cool game. 2007. 19 years ago. And we were getting more than what we are nowadays. Okay. Let's switch gears. Welcome. I love my little transitions, man. But we are going to start a career legacy. The difference between open legacy and career legacy is that open, you can choose any team in the game. Career is supposed to be a journey from the bottom to the top. So career, let's get into it and talk more about it. You see the logo in the bottom right. We're going to be beginning a Stetson University dynasty, or legacy. The Hatters. We're going to learn a lot about them, as I always do. I'm going to start with 12-minute halves. I'm going to go down to 18 minutes for simulated. We'll see how that goes. Injuries, I'm not sure. I'm okay with players leaving early. I'm okay with players transferring, I think. I don't need any help. I don't think I'm going to customize the... So, let me ask. Should I customize the conferences in this game at all? I mean, part of the reason why I didn't get the new rosters with the updated names of the current players is because I want to do this for multiple years, and honestly, I want to feel like we're playing in 2007. I want to, be amongst a different world in here. I don't want it to be like nowadays. It's a little bit diluted nowadays. There's so much money thrown around. It's a completely different era of college basketball, so I think I want to stick true to it and just keep the conferences the same. But you can customize your schedule year to year, schedule any teams you want. As long as your school has the prestige to host them, you can host them. We'll get into that later, but I will leave custom scheduling on. Conferences. Yeah, I'm not going to customize the conferences. I'm cool with that. So can I change that at any point? Because maybe I want to move Stetson up a conference later in this. Career mode. This isn't career mode. Open mode. Oh, so yeah, so we're playing career mode, yeah. Still playing career mode all these years later. Alright, let's create our coach. Should it be me? It's funny, this would be the first time I've ever played College Hoops 2K8 where I would actually be able to be old enough to be in the game as a coach. They go down to 25 in here, but I've always said to myself, I'm like, man, maybe by 26 I'll be coaching one of these schools. I'm not, just in case you were wondering. But, yeah, I'm gonna create myself, like I did with UTEP. And I'll make myself my actual height, which will be funny, as I coach these 7-footers for Stetson. Adam Thabit, of course. Now, you guys know my name. From the UTEP series, with the Miners, where we won the national championship in 3 years. Unfortunately, I am 26. Alright, well, I'm not this short. I just want to remind myself how far down I can go. 5'7". What do you think I look like? I've been on camera a few times. Everyone's always so surprised when I go on camera. Like, I've never been on camera before. I just don't like doing it in general. I might do it for these streams at some point. I might include a face cam. Maybe. Possibly. But not yet. We're not there yet. I just don't like having to constantly think about the way that I look on camera while I'm enjoying playing this game. I'd rather the game take the credit. But anyways, how is there only 2 faces for this skin color? This is just such a strange process. I don't know. What do I look like? Don't know why I'm asking that. That's not bad. It's not good. Can't wait for me to sign a 7'3" giant from Lithuania and have him tower over me in the huddle until I tell him to run sprints for not making his free throws. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is this really it? Those are all the faces? I mean, this is not bad. Really, that's all the skin. 4 skin tones. And then we're on to 2 guys who are either light, kind of like a Italian skin color, or Asian. 1 Asian guy. Come on. I'm not Asian. Could I just make myself old? Not bald. Yes! The Sharks won last night? Let's go. Listen, man. The Red Wings, for the first time in a while, have caught my attention for the whole year. Because they actually made some moves at the deadline when they started to fade a little bit. I liked it. I liked them bringing in Perron. He's a favorite of mine. I don't know. Let me actually go into the game. I've been... Like, these guys all look so old. I guess that's fine. 13 can be the front runner in the clubhouse, I guess. I mean, that's not terrible. It's just not like me. Like, none of these look like me. What am I doing? Why am I so upset? Let me get the stream back. Screw it. That could be me. So here's the first thing that you do once you select your coach and name your coach. You get to assign 5 attributes, and your coach has ratings. So what I care about most in this early dynasty building is charisma. I was trying to remember. I thought it just said recruiting. But the big thing we got to think about in these early years with Stetson is recruiting. We need to be able to win recruiting battles and have a say in that. So I always say, let's get recruiting early. This is what I've always done. And we'll let our assistants do the scouting. Probably. This is the Yukon fight song, by the way, just saying. I love my Huskies. Got Georgetown tonight after Villanova failed to win there. Let me just check my messages. Yeah, you think a little bit of defense too? I mean, so the reason I like choosing all charisma early on is that way I'm like a B+ recruiter early on is solid. Like that's a good number. That's enough to win me some battles against teams that I probably shouldn't, and we're gonna need the recruiting. Like that is always the case with these small schools. I would go maybe as low as a B to get up to a C+ with D. Fence. But let's go all in on charisma. I've always done it that way. I think I'm pretty charismatic. Yeah. Here we go. So, this is where you choose your team in College Hoops 2K8 Career Legacy. Basically, all of these schools are the worst in the game in terms of overall and prestige at this point. So, you can look through these schools. We've seen a lot of them going through conferences. That's really why I wanted to do that. You can see how these schools are spread out throughout the country, but there's an A-Sun school that we're going to hate, North Florida from Jacksonville. I think they have a lazy river on their campus. Pretty dope. You can look that up. You can look anything up that I say. Yeah, there they are. UL Calcutta. Not sure what's going on there. That's a fake school, right? Look at never did anything. It doesn't have a career record. That can't be true. Shreveport? I don't know. They may be real. I don't think they are. What else? What else? Yeah, but I mean, like, so let's be honest. I have looked through this list for years. I've done a Howard. I've done a Northern Colorado, out in Greeley, Colorado. These are going to be some of our biggest rivals at Stetson, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. They're a town over from DeLand in Daytona Beach. St. Francis. Yeah, I've done St. Francis, but I think there's another St. Francis. I think it's New York. I think I've done the New York one. There they are. There's the beautiful Hatters. We'll get into that in a second. Yeah, I've done a... So I actually... That's the other one I did a pretty long legacy with. I've done St. Francis, New York. The Terriers. And like I said, what's so cool about choosing a team like this, you can actually, like, go in, see their arena, the Pope Center. Although their attendance is low, most of these attendances are low. There's a guy out there who does streaming like this with Sacramento State. Really cool, really cool content that he makes. I forget his name. He's making great College Hoops 2K8 content. Part of the reason why I got so excited to do this. Southern's in Baton Rouge. Shout out Baton Rouge. I did not know that. Princeton in the Ivy, close to me. I didn't want to do an Ivy League school ever. I mean, they've got the brains. They've got the GPAs to win those battles. I'll let them win basketball on their own. I don't need to help them. But here we go. The Stetson Hatters. Stetson University Hatters, located in DeLand, Florida. If you don't know where that is, it's kind of right in the middle of Florida. A little bit more north, close to Daytona Beach. It's a pretty awesome school. It's a small school. They have good attendance. I guess their mascot is the Mad Hatter. That's dope. When we get to Midnight Madness and play that early or later on today, we will be doing Back the Hats at the Edmunds Center. The Edmunds Center, which was totally revamped in the past 2 years, since Stetson made their first college basketball, first March Madness appearance, first time they ever won the ASUN, was it 2-3 years ago? Let me get this right. I want to get it right. When we do the next video, in general, I'm going to have a little bit more of a Stetson-focused intro that talks a little bit more about the school, shows off them winning the ASUN, going to the tournament for the first time ever. Shout out Jacob deGrom, Cody. Excellent point. He was wasn't he a primary hitter? He did a little bit of both at Stetson. He definitely had a good bat. I know that. Was it him that homered off another Major League pitcher, or vice versa? I think someone... But yeah, Jacob deGrom, great Stetson alum. 2024, so it was 2 years ago. Yeah, so Stetson made the tournament for the first time ever, and actually played UConn, which... It was so hard to tell people. It was weird to tell people when UConn made the tournament that that I was... They were playing Stetson. I was trying to tell them, like, I have some kind of love for Stetson from a basketball game I used to play. Just so random. Sorry, I'm just checking my messages. Waiting on an email today at some point. But yeah, for the first time ever in 2024, these Stetson Hatters made it to the tournament, and I was so happy for them, man. I'll have to show you guys some more of that later on, but there's the Edmunds Center. These are the Stetson Hatters. And another reason why I absolutely love them for the career legacy... They never made the tournament until 2024, so here in 2007, they definitely hadn't made the tournament. So we are looking at trying to get Stetson to their first NCAA tournament ever, and do it before 2024. That would be a hell of a lot of streams if it took that damn long. Yeah. Well, this is what the team's going to look like at the start. I do believe we may change this lineup a little bit, but it's mostly going to be run like this. These are the names that the game generated for me. I let it be random, and I love it. Armand Hairston at point guard. Smush Mejia at shooting guard. What a name. Our senior leader, 70 overall, highest overall player. Bit of our star, Greg Mayberry. Great name. Great player, I'm hoping. He's a little bit more of a slasher, not a shooter. Smush Mejia is a little bit more of a shooter. And then you got the two big men, both international, Deji Kamara and Aaron French. I think Deji Kamara is from Senegal and Aaron French from New Zealand. But we'll get more into this as we go. This is going to be, that's not going to be our schedule. We're going to customize that. We don't know anything about this team, technically. This is our story. But we are going to be the Stetson Hatters. And the first thing we're going to do as coach of the Stetson Hatters, pick some coaches to help me out. So we're looking at all the stats across the board, and I think there's two things I really want to look for. One is scouting. Without question. We need scouts to help us out and find accurate reports of the high school guys we're going to go after, try to get those recruits. So right now, this guy is the best scout I'm seeing, and he also has C+ offense. Maybe we find a scout that's good on defense. Not a lot of discipline, which I don't love. But that's, that's something that I can instill, even though my ratings aren't terrific. But is this it? Oh. Shit. That's not as many options as I thought. So we are going to go with this guy. Gary MacLeese. 36-year-old is going to be my first assistant to help me out. And then I do want a little bit more of a defensive-focused coach, so we're going to go with this guy, who has C- scouting. That's not terrible. Judd Lowe. And both of them have pretty high ambition, which means ambition, the stat all the way to the right, they're probably going to want to leave. I do like, by the way, you can look at that. So you can look at their evaluation. He's mediocre at imparting offensive knowledge to his players. Mediocre, but he's got an F defensive rating, and it's only saying he has limited understanding of defense at all. He doesn't even know what defense is, this guy. No clue. But this is hysterical. He's D disciplined, and the evaluation just says his players have the attention span of fruit flies. That's awesome. Snails is watching the African Champions League. That is cool. Who is playing? Let's keep going. And then, I think eventually this kind of guy, this is what I was talking about with ambition. He is trying to improve his coaching skills so he can get a gig at a good school. Not to say that we're not a good school, we're just going to take a while to get there, and he's going to want to move on eventually. So I'd rather have guys that are looking to improve their careers, but we can hire some better coaches another day when they leave. Here's a cool part of this that I love. We can customize our schedule. And what's great about this is you can really customize it to benefit your recruiting needs, because in the first few weeks or so, there's more recruiting. And there's more opportunities to, jump ahead, and you want to do more recruiting, you can schedule less games. But, man, what's so interesting about this schedule to start, I don't know if this actually was their schedule. Look how many away games Stetson plays, because we're such a low prestige school. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 9 out of our 11 non-conference games are away from DeLand. That is wild. We have 2 non-conference games scheduled amongst our A-Sun schedule. Interesting. So let me play around with this a little bit. 2 games a week for the first 3 weeks and have no time to recruit. I want to have a balance of playing games and recruiting. I'm thinking of it all. At least I'm trying to. Alright, so I've got my November 2007 calendar pulled up. If you don't know, the college basketball season runs from November to March. Technically, it always ends in April. The national championship is always in April, which is a little weird. They spread it out pretty far, but yeah, we'll start in November and go from there. So maybe we'll get in... Ugh, cords are all tangled. Let's delete... Oh! If Coco was still here, he'd know that we're going to Georgia Southern. And hopefully be very happy about that. We are going to go play at one of these 2 schools. Should we play at Florida or Florida State? I'm going to do one of the 2. And then I'll keep going. But... So we have 2 Bethune-Cookman games on here. That's our rival. That's our Daytona Beach rival from the MEAC. Pretty sure they're in the MEAC. Yep. One of the HBCU schools. I think we are going to go to Bethune-Cookman this first year. I think we're going to take away our home game. But not until I can find some other home games for us. I don't want to have no home games on our schedule. Starting on November 16th against Florida Atlantic is fine. We're going to go down to Boca Raton for the opener. That's good. Let's see if we can get a tournament on the schedule, though. Tournaments are cool. You cannot have more than 28 scheduled games. Then why'd you schedule me 28 games? Alright. Let's put a game... I'd like it to be on the 21st, but that's when Bethune-Cookman is. Let's go 22-25. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see if we can get... Oh, I can't have more than... Oh, so we have to keep deleting games. Alright, I'm going to delete one of these. We'll not go into Longwood. Probably not Miami. Maybe Miami. We're not going to Savannah State. Can we get a tourney on the schedule? Let's do it. I like to do the 4-team tournaments. Nice, quick, win a game, you play in the championship kind of feel to start things off. These are, yeah, these are by date. So if you go later in this, these are closer to New Year's Eve tournaments. College basketball is full of tournaments. There's the Maui, there's a number of, these are, I just remembered, these are all different names than, than what currently takes place. The Hawaiian Invitational is cool. There's usually one in Alaska, which I wouldn't mind taking our team to Alaska. Oh, the Great Alaska Shootout, of course. It's 3 rounds with 8 teams. We can't see the teams. That would be pretty cool, though, to head up to Alaska and play amongst 8 teams and see if we can do something there. I wonder how far the flight from DeLand, Florida, the exact southeast of the United States, to, I'm guessing, Anchorage, Alaska is. That is absurd. I think it's so absurd that I kind of want to do it, even though it's a 3-round tournament. When is it? 11/21. Yeah, so you know what? Let's cancel Bethune-Cookman on the 21st. We're going to move Georgia Southern a little bit later on. Yeah, let's put on, let's head to Alaska with the Hatters. That's so random, but that's what I love to do in this game. We have the opportunity. So, because we're traveling to Alaska, I want to focus on preparing ourselves for that. Let's see if we can, on the 17th or 18th? Let's try the 17th. What is FAU in this game? Or maybe we'll do FIU. Where are they at, though? There they are. Sunbelt. Of course. So I can't schedule FAU because we already have them. So let's delete it. let's start fresh. I do want to start on the 17th. And let's see if we can go to FAU still. Can't. Can we do the 18th? Can't even do the 16th. These assholes. Alright, we'll go to FIU. Away. So that's the cool thing about scheduling games, because we are so lacking in prestige, we have to be away for certain schools that we schedule. We can't even get a home game, which I think is hysterical. I love it. We're not going to be home until the end of November, which I'm okay with. That's fine. So we'll start at Florida International down in Fort Lauderdale. Go to Alaska the next week. I think that's a Saturday, and then we go to Alaska on a Wednesday. Wild. No one's going to classes at Stetson this year on the basketball team. When is the Florida State games? I think we're going to have to do Florida State, because Florida's just too close to the Alaska shootout. I'd rather get home and play a home game on the 27th instead of an away game. That'll be a lot on us. Maybe we do a shout out to UMBC's 16 seed win. Yeah, and we'll play UMBC at home. I like that. Host them. Let's see. That's good. Florida State, Bethune. Let's put a home game here. Alright, so we can go 8-12 here in December. Let's get back-to-back home games. Gotta get some home games on the schedule. Let's go with these southern schools. Maybe we get McNeese? We do. Let's get McNeese on the schedule. And let's get a Florida school at home. If we can get one. We already have FIU. Little Rock, Denver. Maybe we do Southern Alabama. Nah. I don't like their logo. You know what? Let's do High Point. My buddy went there, and they just made the tournament. Let's give some shout-outs to March Madness Darlings on our schedule. We'll go to Miami. We'll do FIU, FSU, and Miami as our 3 tough away games. Maybe we do another tough away game right before Christmas. But let's do something random. Let's do like a Big East school or something, or Big Ten, Penn State, Northwestern. Let's do a Big 12 school on the road. Let's take Stetson to... Let's take Stetson to Baylor in December. And then we'll finish off the year against Charleston Southern on New Year's Eve. I don't hate that. Can we have like a tune-up? before that. Maybe on... Nah, we got to 28 games now. That's fine. An announcer? You want me to do Oklahoma? Alright, let's go to Oklahoma on the 22nd. A little Christmas tune-up of sorts. Wouldn't mind being an announcer. Although, as my friend Cody, who was in here, will tell you, it's a tough road to go down. We'll take on Savannah State. Shout out Savannah Bananas later on in the season. I don't know why we had 2 games scheduled against Longwood, though. I really don't mind if I can't schedule another game right there. I'd rather delete it. But let's see if we can get one more game on the schedule. We can. So let's do it in December. After Christmas. Let's get Christmas out of the way first. But we will be busy this time of year, I think. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's host a Connecticut team. See if we can get the Q down in Stetson. Quinnipiac. School I would have considered, but I would have rather end up in the Boston area. Quinnipiac's down by New Haven and Hamden. Beautiful, beautiful campus. Small school. Kind of like Stetson. A beautiful small school in a cool area. Yeah. There's your schedule. Boom. Alright. Now, here's something cool about College Hoops 2K8 that I never do. And I feel dirty about it because it is extremely cool, but it's also extremely it's got a lot of commitment centered around it time-wise. It's a time-consuming thing. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to simulate it, and here's why. Because you can watch these players play, which is very cool. Like, you can watch these college players play in showcases all summer. It's awesome. So, like, these are all teams. Yes, they did win the college hockey national championship. I absolutely know that. Anything that happens in Connecticut sports-wise, everybody knows about. It was awesome. They're a good program now. UConn hockey has actually taken off as well. In is it the College East? Something like that. I'm not as familiar with college hockey, but I know that UConn games have increased in value because they're just that good right now. They've beaten some of the teams that used to be extremely good. And Tage Thompson on the U.S. national team, the gold medal U.S. national team, is from UConn, which is awesome. Tage Thompson, a big, hard-hitting center. Oh, shit, I didn't know the Sharks have a Quinnipiac Bobcat. That's kind of sick. But we'll take on Quinnipiac on our schedule. Yeah, we're just gonna sim all this. I mean... Oh, I forgot. I can switch the regions, I think. Can I? Or is it just gonna stay all southeast for me? I thought I could switch this. I think it already simulated it. Well, we're gonna know a lot about kids in the southeast, I can tell you that. That's what this is. So, I missed it. So usually, you get a chance to switch the region. You can do, like, northeast teams, central, west coast, you know, international region, and you can scout those players and get a little bit more starting information on them. But damn it, we're going to know a lot about the kids in the southeast. I think I'm okay with that. Let's keep kids close to home in this first year. And now we're here. And now I'm seeing maybe going to Alaska wasn't the best move. God, Texas Tech in the Great Alaska Shootout. So this is our Legacy main screen. A lot of information at once. So you got a little bit of a snapshot of our schedule right here, which I can scroll through. Florida State's ranked. That'll be something crazy. It's gonna be a busy start to the season, which is fine. A little bit of a snapshot of our roster and how confident everybody is. You can look at the weekly development, drills players complete, how they affect, the team, whatever. But recruiting, you get all your numbers, how many points you've got for the week. We only have 2 scholarships available this upcoming recruiting season. That means that we have 2 guys leaving on scholarship, so 2 seniors, basically. Not always, but 2 guys will be leaving, and that's okay to me. What else is there? There's Sim Central, which has a little bit more of a snapshot of conference things, point leaders, if there's any injuries. And that is it for now. But that's not it. There are more menus. Here is a look at our calendar. For real. We're going to play our Midnight Madness. I think I'm going to call it soon for the stream. I might play Midnight Madness first, though. But this is when you can finalize your rosters. This TV on the calendar is a preseason preview show with Greg Gumbel. It's so cool. I'm a huge fan of the presentation stuff like that. There's a March Madness selection show in this game, which we'll eventually get to, but oh god, let's take a look at, well, first of all, this is our matchup in Alaska. A much better Texas Tech team. Damn it. Alright, I'll do the Midnight Madness then if you want to see gameplay. That's chillin'. Alright, so we've got FIU. We'll be in Alaska all week here. You get the weekend off, and then we come back, and we've got UMBC at home after we touch down, after going to Alaska, and then we head up to Tallahassee for a big one there to end November against FSU. And then the signing period begins. So here's how I'll describe this. This is when we can start recruiting, we can start sending offers, we can start gaining interest, all the way up until here. This week, it ends on the 9th. This week is when players can first sign like an early scholarship or an early decision. So you get to this point, if players are ready to sign, they can sign in this period. If they're not ready, by the 9th of December, it then goes, we've got Miami, we've got Oklahoma. This is going to be a tough schedule. We may not be very good non-conference this year, which is fine. I'd rather see us play some fun games. We're going to play a lot of these games, though. That's what I decided. We will do a lot of simming as well, but it's going to be half and half for the first year. Conference season starts. This is all out of the signing period, but this is all recruiting time to get ready for the off-season. This is when recruiting ends in season, right after the last conference game, and then we're on to conference tournament here, selection Sunday here, and then we keep going down the calendar. This is when the season wraps up, national championship, you get all your awards given out, and then we're on to the off-season. You get high school all-star game, the McDonald's All-American game, and then off-season recruiting starts. So that is a snapshot of the college basketball calendar for the year. I think it is so awesomely executed to have an actual calendar that we can go around and see all these different things. Click in and see the matchups, like against Quinnipiac. Slightly outmatched, but it's not that bad, to be honest. I don't know, I just really like the way this is all set up. The calendar is like one of my favorite parts, because it just easily shows you everything. But let's quickly take a look first at our roster, which is in the coach's office, in management. Lots of things in the menu. Here are the Stetson Hatters. Greg Mayberry, who usually starts as a junior, but I wanted to have an extra guy to scout scholarship-wise, balance things out, so I made him a senior. Oh well. He is our senior leader. He's a slasher. He's got C+ dunking. That's one of his better offensive stats. Good dunk standing dunk. But yeah, he's got pretty good handles. He's not that fast. Solid defender. He's more of a slasher for sure. Good inside game. Not really going to hit threes, but if he's open, we'll probably end up shooting it regardless. He is solid, though. And then, Smush Mejia. What a name! This is the best randomized name that we got, honestly. What's up, Astro? Vamos! Did Levante win today? I saw Levante had the lead. I think he played Rayo. Anyways, Smush Mejia. 6'2", 170, out of Augusta, Georgia. Where's Greg Mayberry from? Jacksonville, right near home. He's also 6'5", 210. He is really a tank. Smush is going to be more of our shooter. 74 3-point rating is solid. 86 speed, definitely solid. And he's an alright defender. He's got good stealing, good on-ball defense. I like the look of Smush, and he's a junior, so get a solid year out of him as a co-pilot to Greg Mayberry's show. Next year, it'll be his show. Smush. Smush. Yeah, Levante. Nice dub. Alright. He'll probably be our point guard here. This is Trey Garcia out of Lauderhill, Florida, a sophomore, second-year player, so we will get 3 years of Trey Garcia. He's interesting. He's not really specifically great at one thing, but he's pretty well balanced. I mean, if he's open, he can hit a 3. He probably won't be dunking on anyone. Stealing is okay. Defending is okay. He's not that fast. Again, we're not the best team. We're really just not the best team. Like, we go from 70 to 66 to 58. I mean, it goes down. If you're talking about Levante Snails, we are talking about the Armchair Soccer Federation, the sim league that I'm a part of, that Coco, who is in here, is the commissioner of. But we continue to roll through this roster. Mayberry, Mejia, Noah Santos, another Florida kid. We've got a lot of Florida kids on this roster, keeping it local with the Hatters. Melbourne, Florida. Or Melbourne. He's 6'6", 230, and he can shoot. He'll get open and shoot him. May have to get some games out of him where he gets hot. Smush, Mejia, and Santos are probably the 2 best shooters in the starting lineup. No, Astro does not play. Although, I don't know, Astro. Maybe he does. Defensively, he's solid. A lot of these players just aren't very good, so we're really just getting used to the look and feel of them, honestly. Ridley Barnett. Another Florida kid out of Jacksonville. He's a sophomore. Trey Garcia's a sophomore. Santos is a junior. Barnett's a sophomore, and he, again, not the best at anything, but he's got good enough 3-point rating where I could see him lining one up and knocking it down for sure. Definitely not going to dunk on you. And our defense is, we're just not going to be great. Here's our center, though. Out of New Zealand, Aaron French, 6'9", 240. This man is a unit. And it's interesting. This is a good example of what I said earlier. He's got C+ 3-point rating, but it's a 57. How could that be a C+? Because he's a center. Because 57's not bad for a center. So he, like Mayberry, if he gets open on a pick and pop, or if they leave him open, I may let it fly. But what I love about Aaron French, he can definitely do it inside. Post moves, he's got okay close range shots, but medium is good, and he's got great free throws. So let's get our big man to the line. Soft hands. I like this guy, for sure. But, for a 6'9" center, I was hoping for better rebounding ratings. What am I saying? I know who these players are. I've done Stetson Legacies for so long. I've probably done 3 or 4 Stetson Legacies since the game came out. At least. This game's been out for 19 years. Of course I have. But anyways. Vang is... Oh, I'm so upset about the MLB The Show graphics and reveal. The new let me just go on a very quick rant. The new features that MLB The Show has raved about are not significant at all. The game is the same. It is the same it's been for the last 4 freaking years. And it's what, $80? I'm not paying for it. Stetson is my favorite legacy I've ever done. Stetson was my first legacy choice, literally because of the hat being so unique in the logo. It's just like, how many teams do you see that where their mascot is a hat, not an animal, not a person, not a warrior. It's a damn hat. I love it. But anyways, yeah, French, solid, but he's not going to do much defensively or on the boards, which for a big man, wish it was better. Anyways, Colin Shear is our other senior. Will I be playing it, though? What, playing MLB? Absolutely not. I'll play last year's MLB happily. I'm not spending my money on this year's MLB. Not a chance. Okay, so senior number 2, Colin Shear. I love this guy. He's a 3-point shooting big guy. That's awesome. So pick and pops, mid-range. He's a lot like French, where he's got soft hands and offensive ability. Defensive ability, rebounding, for a guy that's 6'8", not great, which sucks. But that's why we're going to be starting... Did we even get to him? Oh, yeah. Deji Kamara will be our other starting big guy, because he's a bit better on the boards, and he's a little bit better defensively than French and Shear. But Deji Kamara from Senegal, like Sadio Mane. Love this guy. But he's just okay. He's gonna bang it inside, but he's not as good as the other big guys. None of these guys are good. What am I saying? Terrell Ellerby, great name. Also from Jacksonville, Florida. I think that's our 3rd or 4th guy from Jacksonville, which is pretty cool, I guess. He's a wing, and he's not really great at anything except for standing dunking, which is kind of strange. He's okay on the defensive side. He's not that fast. What Terrell Ellerby can do, though, is steal. So he's got quick hands on the defensive side. I like that. Deji, we talked about. Collins Azubuike. What a name. I mean, we've got some great names. And look at that. Collins Azubuike from Vancouver, Canada. We've got a Canadian freshman on the wing, 6'3", 195. And he's well-rounded. C- potential isn't terrible. I think that's like 70 potential. And he's a 56 overall. Not bad. He's got good ball handling. He's got good three-point shot. Not great. Nothing is great. But nothing is bad. He's a good on-ball defender, too. Steal rating's not great, but he can lock some guys up. I think Collins Azubuike has a lot of potential. Maybe. We'll see. We keep going. Armand Hairston. He is technically our starting point guard, and I actually do want him to be our starting point guard because he's got a solid three-point shot. 74 is one of the highest on the team. He's got one of the best ball handling ratings on the team. On-ball defense is pretty solid. He's pretty fast. I think he's one of the fastest players. Definitely faster than Azubuike. Yeah, he's got good quickness. I mean, he's 5'10", so he's undersized, from Hialeah, Florida. He's a sophomore, too, so we get 3 years of Armand Hairston. Is it Azubuike? I don't know, man. I'm trying. Michael Kahn. Shout out to UConn. What a name. This name comes up a lot for the Australian and New Zealand guys that come out of the international pool, but Kahn is a very popular last name in this game, so I've learned. But anyways, Michael Kahn, 6'10". He's the tallest player at Stetson, which is not that tall. He just wants me to play. All right. Carlos Barnhill, also from Canada. Shout out Canada, man. Let's go play our Midnight Madness. I can do some recruiting later.